All right, so I guess I'll tell you where I started. I was thinking about buying Sapien PowerShell Studio, and then I had a thought, hey, I wonder if ChatGPT could help me out with doing this. So I was kind of curious because I've been using it for my website for generating text and for my YouTube descriptions on my videos. So I came here and I said, hey, can you write a little PowerShell utility using Microsoft Forms that will have buttons and such to pop up for displaying standard Windows computer and user information? PowerShell utility. And it spit it out. I copied it. And this is what it gave me. So if I go over to PowerShell, paste that in, I run it, I get this little tiny box, and I can't see any buttons or anything. Oh, they're there. So it does seem to work, but it's not laid out very well and everything. So I'm like, all right, well, that's not cool. So I said, hey, can you make the form larger and the text is too large, for the application? So it gives it another try. So let's copy this. So it spit out this. All right, a little bit better. Not exactly perfect. So I'll get my computer, user info, some basic system information. I'm like, all right, let's see if we can build on this. So I'm like, let's challenge this thing a little bit. So come down here, and I'm like, all right, that's cool. I ask it if it can actually learn from feedback, and it says no. So I'm like, all right, I was just curious. I said, hey, the buttons on the text is too large, or the buttons are too small. Figure it out. And it says, okay. So it tries again. So this is what I do, and this is what I get back. So, all right, little bit better now on the default run. I still get my information. But yet again, I'm like, all right, let's take it another step. Next, I was like, hey, can you add an exit button? Which it never did. But I says, hey, include network information and installed apps. So it says, go ahead. This time around, it was kind of interesting because when I run it, it just outputs it to the screen. So I'm like, hey, dude, I gave us more feedback. You do not put the outputted information into the Windows form for networking and installed apps. It apologizes. It's really polite, by the way. So copy this code. So all right, let's try it again. So I'm like, all right, cool. We got everything here, but the display is all like whapperjawed and out there. And when I click on installed apps, because I noticed that this definitely wasn't going to display right. But when I clicked on it and it tried to display, let's see if I can pull the error real quick. So, anyways, the error is you can actually see it here in the code. It's trying to export assign the information to text box 5, and there is no text box 5. So it's just going to run and then it's going to error out. So I'm like, all right, let's get past that. So I go back. I'm like, hey, dude, you forgot to make text box 5 displaying information. It apologizes and adds text box 5. So, okay, let's try it again. So, all right, so now I do have different text boxes, but yet again, it's kind of all over the place. I can get, my computer, my system info, and it looks like my networking is like being overlaid or stepped on by a label, and I don't even see the other text box anywhere when I hit display, get installed apps. So, it doesn't work. So, I gave it a good shot, and it was really, really good. Responsive and taking my input. But what I ended up having to do is just a little massaging. Once it did add all the text boxes, everything was actually there. So I just went and massaged the numbers a little bit on locations, and that was the problem in the last one over here is the application text box is underneath the system info. So I think it got confused because it created this first and then it tried to add that back. So I think if it knew the information and I had better details when I had it created, it would have done it correctly. But after a little massaging, I was able to get it to look like this. Wasn't too much work at all, and it actually works just fine. Go out and get my installed apps, and it will display that here. Another useful tool is you can actually kind of use it, like if you don't know PowerShell real well, you can look in here and see what commands it used to actually pull this information as well. So I just thought this was kind of a really cool experiment with ChatGPT and wanted to share it a little bit with everybody. So um, have some fun. Take a look at this if you're a nerd like me, and to see if you're writing scripts and everything, you could possibly come in here instead of Google search and just go to ChatGPT and ask it to do the work for you, and then you just copy and paste your script. So, hey, thanks a lot, and checking out my channel, and hopefully this helps somebody out and raise some eyebrows.